And one kind of rule of thumb that we're going to follow here is to create some change every 4 bars. So the bars are marked at the top, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. And really most music, a lot of music that we listen to, Western music, quote unquote, follows a 4-bar pattern. 4 or 8 or 16, some interval of that. And to keep the listener interested, we want to move at a steady pace. And especially since these musical ideas are just repeating, like they repeat after 4 bars, they're 4-bar loops. What's the point of having the listener listen to these again? Unless you were working with a rapper or somebody that wanted to add a longer intro and they had vocals that were changing over the top. That would be a difference. But for now, we're going to assume that we don't have that yet. And we're going to just try to make something that's pleasing to listen to. So I might actually bring the bass in here at bar 5. Let's listen to that. Well, let's listen to it from the beginning. I would say until the drums come in, it's still all really considered intro. And I would say by here, bar 9, we should definitely have some drums come in. And this right now, we're really just working with the musical ideas that we have, and we're going to evolve from that the deeper we go. But not only are we going to evolve with whatever musical ideas we're using, we're also going to evolve with how those sounds change over time. So whether we want to apply filters over time, things like that, and we'll kind of get into that starting now. So I might actually just completely drop out this high stuff. Let's see. What is up, DJ Kevin? No worries about being late. No worries. Welcome back. So to me, this sounds a little bit empty, but I do know that that's the basis of what my verse should sound like. Before we go on to the verse, I do have an idea for the intro to do some filtering. So I'm actually going to do this on the whole group for this high stuff. Literally just labeled it high stuff. So within high stuff, we have the bells and we have the pads, and they have their own stuff that can be automated and all that, but I want it to happen to the whole group. So I'm going to go ahead and go on this whole group here. Let's pop that open. I'm going to go to audio effects, and I'm going to go to auto filter. I'm going to drop that on the group, so we are affecting both of these sounds simultaneously. And I'm going to play with automating the filter. One thing I actually want to do that I should have done before we started this is I want to, gain stage a little bit, because we are going to make this sound louder in mixing and mastering later. And before we get too deep into arranging, I want to just select all the tracks. And I'm actually going to bring them all down. Oh, that was not all together. Let me go ahead and select all the tracks. Come on. Maybe I can't do it all at once now that they're in groups. We can, oh yes, we do it by group. There we go. So I'm going to bring everything down, maybe even to that -12 mark. So everything's being brought down kind of at the same level. So for you guys, it's going to be a little bit lower right now, but I'll try to add a little bit more level in there. It is a little lower right now, but trust me, because we're going to add stuff on top later, that's going to make it much louder. But that's the point in having everything down this low. But back to what we were doing. We're going to filter in and out the high stuff for the intro. Let's do that. So right now the filter kind of defaults to being like this. I like to bring the resonance up a bit. And we got to pick one of these knobs to automate. And of course, the easy choice is the filter. So let's hear what that sounds like over time. So what I think I might do is fade it in and then fade it back out. when the drums are about to come in. So I went ahead and turned on my automation lanes here. And now the last thing that I clicked on will be what is active to automate. So right now you can even see it says auto filter frequency. That's what we're doing, filter frequency on the auto filter. So what I would like it to do is peak here. I would like it to peak here, come up. Ooh, are we having some issues with the screen? Let me know if y'all can still see the screen, because on my video it just kind of went out. Let me see if that helps. Ooh, that was odd. Alright, we should be back to normal, guys. Let me know. I'm not sure if that glitch. My phone kind of went off, so that was odd. Maybe it was some interference or something. We're automating this, so I'm just making a triangle motion, right? Let's see. So now we have some motion. I might not want this to fade out right away. I actually want it to be a fade out starting here. And you know what? Now that we have this filtered out sound, it might even be that I keep this high stuff in there, just filtered out. Find a place for it, and that also gives me the opportunity to bring it back up later, of course. But anything to add motion and create interest for the listener, because you gotta think, like, somebody can hit skip at any moment and go on to the next track that they want to listen to. So how are you going to keep them interested? And it doesn't have to be with a new musical idea every time. It can also be with motion like this. Good. So like I said, we want to make changes every 4 bars. So here we've got that. We got 4 bars of high stuff filtering in. And then we added the bass. Then we added the drums. And right here, we've got 8 bars, assuming that this would be a verse. So space for a vocalist. What I might do is bring in that melody. So remember, that's the first thing we came up with, was this melody idea. And we're just using it now. I'm going to dip into chat right after this section. So if you guys got questions or things you want to chat about, let me know. And we will dive back in. Okay. I like that. Dropping out the bass. I don't know how much I like dropping out the drums. So I think what I might do is just keep the kick drums. I'll take that original beat that we already made and delete the snares out of it. Thanks, Lost. Appreciate that. Oh, and actually now I think it's actually a good idea to bring the snare back in here, because we're gonna really be, if we think of this as like a pre-chorus, like building back up to something, and you guys can probably imagine what's gonna happen next at bar 25 is we're gonna drop kind of everything in at the moment. But chat, how is it going? Yeah, DJ intro Camilo, basically. Alright, I'm glad you can see the screen again, guys. Sorry, I think my connection was a little loose or something. Unsure. So, if you couldn't see how I started the automation process, there's this little box right here. So you notice when that's turned off, all those fancy automation points and lanes and lines go away. We turn that on, and boom, there it is. and this will show, depending on what lane you're in, like if I'm in high stuff on the group, whatever knob I click on will be what I can automate here. So watch that line change as I flip through the different parameters. See, it says what it is here, and we automated the filter frequency by double clicking and putting points in and, you know, drawing lines.